Okay, what I'm going to show you today is how to create a really interesting effect in timber. I've been doing this now for some years, and what I do is I use paint. Some timbers have a really open grain, like oak and ash, they're really good for this. And so what you find is that because the grain is open, the paint will stick in the grain, and then you can sand it off and you get the two-tone effect. So this job here I'm doing for somebody. I've done a few other things for them, and they wanted an ingrained sort of grey effect. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So the paint I use is just a deluxe. This is a tester. That's all you need really. It's enough paint to do this job. And you just take the paint and you rub it on. And the good thing about the testers is they've even got their own wee brush. So you don't need just too much. You try and spread it quite thinly. And work. Don't do too much at a time because the paint dries too quickly. So I do that amount to start with, and then you take a chisel that's really sharp, make sure the edge is clean, and you scrape. And so what you're doing is you're leaving the paint in the grain, you're creating the ingrained effect. As you can see, it can spread it quite far. And it's a fairly quick technique as well. The thing that first gave me this idea was I wanted to do something really interesting for Shetland, and I came up with the idea that you could use peat, the same sort of peat you burn in your fire. You could ingrain timber with that, and that works really good in ash because the ash is quite light. The peat was really dark, and we did a whole range of candle holders that had this ingrained peat effect. And then with oak, my first idea was to use this. Oak's quite interesting because it's got an acid in it, so it reacts to steel or iron. So if you make a solution of iron sulfate and put it on oak, it goes grey, kind of like this, and you can create the same effect. But I just found that the problem with that was that you had to sand it so much to create the same effect as this. This saves so much time. So you spread out the paint like so, and then you want to take some of it off, so you would use a scraper, or you could just sand it. But I find the fastest way is if you scrape it like this, then you don't have to sand so much, because the paint ends up just clogs up your paper quite badly. So scrape it like so. I mean, you can use any colour you would like, whatever you fancy. And you can play around with the colours and create interesting effects. So you scrape it down like that. You would then sand it. And I've done one here, it's like Blue Peter. There's one I've done earlier. So this is one I've done the whole thing with. We split paint. Probably give it a wee bit more of a sand, because you want the paint just really to be in the grain. And you can see with the grain effect here, it really brings out the grain with the paint sticking in it. Okay. Well, one thing I forgot to tell you was that the timber, this is the side that's not been done yet. It's been sanded up really good first. It's been had one coat of oil on it as well, which means that the paint doesn't stick onto the outer wood. It'll just stick in the grain. That makes the process so much easier. And then what you do is you just take some Danish oil. It's good to use a glove, keep your hand clean. And if you just put on a coat of oil over the top of this, it comes up really good. And voila.